So we just brought back this beauty today. Ooh. Yeah, the only thing holding it's the straps. We do not plan on doing a project with this one. This is just a parts car. It's a 71B, originally bronze yellow. Now we saw this thing advertised as parting it out, and all we really wanted initially was just the grille, because you know, fish mouth grills are a little difficult to come by, especially in reasonably decent condition, and we need one for the 71 GT that got wrecked last fall, and this one is in good enough condition for that car. And it started out with just that. Then it was like, well, maybe we'll take the bonnet off the car too, and then well, the engine does turn over, maybe we should get it. And we ended up just saying, if we're going to drive 2 hours to get the grill, let's just put the trailer behind the truck and grab the whole darn thing. Which is kind of how he ended up with it to start with. All he wanted was the bumpers, the windshield, and a few other bits and pieces off of it, and then ended up taking the whole car because, well, it had an engine in it, you know. And but he kept the wheels, so these are actually my street wheels off my GT, just to get it rolling up to the trailer. He also ended up just throwing in this rear axle because he said, if I didn't take it, probably just end up scrapping it anyway. So we'll go ahead and take the straps off, look under the bonnet, and we got some bits of, few bits and pieces in the boot as well. We didn't know the fenders weren't bolted on until we got there, so we just put some straps around it and said, she'll ride. All right. Oh. So it does have a pretty complete engine compartment. He took the intake manifold and exhaust manifold off of it because he had inherited his grandfather's 78B, and it still has the Stromberg on it, and he wanted to swap it out to a Weber and the earlier exhaust manifold, and this had a Weber manifold on it, and he thinks he can tune that car better than the side drafts, so he's more comfortable with that. So he was a younger guy, 29 years old, and like I said, he inherited his grandfather's car and just getting into these things. So it was nice to see somebody younger starting to play with one of these, and he seemed genuinely interested in it. Seemed like a genuinely nice guy, and we gave him a little bit of advice and encouraged him to jump on in and have some fun with his car and enjoy it. So we might do a video later on, sometime in the upcoming weeks when I find some time, because you know I have so much time at the moment, where we'll maybe throw a set of carbs on it and a manifold and see if we can get this engine to actually make some noise, and then strip it down and cut it up. I've never done a video on doing that, so this might be a good one to do it too. So the 71 GT that we're pulling this out for, the guy that owns that, today is his 21st birthday, and he has no idea that the car we picked up was actually a 71 and would have the correct grille for his car. All we told him was, we're picking up a parts car. And we sent him a picture of it and intentionally cut off the grille so he wouldn't see that it had one. So he's going to get a little bit of a surprise tonight for his birthday. So we'll get this out of here. There's 3 rubber plugs on right here that expose 3 bolts here, which, well, these are Phillips. I'll have to go get a different. There's 3 Phillips screws here. There's supposed to be 1 in each corner here, but the fenders were already taken off. And he can do a little bit of straightening on some of these bits and pieces and put it in his car and have himself a grill again. He's gonna be pretty happy about that. here in about an hour. I don't think I can get this out with this. Oh, whoa. I have to go get a bigger Phillips. A lot of times there's actually actual just hex head bolt downs in these. Could have that or these, you never know, depending whether it's factory or somebody switched them out with something. Let me go get a bigger screwdriver, we'll get this out. Oh. If you get yourself a screwdriver that's got a little base like this, it can do wonders for helping you get screws like this out. There isn't one over here, so makes it slightly easier. Oh, I don't know if this one's going to come loose. And it's inside the rail here, so we can't get to it with any kind of penetrating oil from the bottom side. So what I'll probably end up doing on this one is we'll get a long 1/8 inch drill bit, just drill in a little bit, then get a 1/4 inch drill bit and knock the head off of it so we don't do any damage to the grill. So there's a few bits still in the boot here. Got, I guess maybe a jack still in there possibly. Some extra trim and some lenses. Those lenses might actually be a little better condition than on that 71 GT. So he might end up putting those on his car. And we'll probably take the starter off this one, put it on that car as well, as his starter is starting to not start at times. But that doesn't work. JVC, good stuff, yeah. So, yeah, unfortunately, this car isn't actually terribly rusty. It's a chassis that could be saved, but it came from a guy who also inherited it from his father and somehow wasn't able to find the title or get the title sorted out or something, so there is no title on it to be able to, say, put the car back together and put it back on the road. Or should we take this off and so it moves more?